Well, it seems as though Lord Mandelson has split from Labour. Yes, Labour have been forced to clarify that Lord Mandelson's call to back Donald Trump's Ukraine peace deal is not government policy after the British ambassador to the United States appeared to split with Keir Starmer on American TV. Now, we've all seen the fallout from the row, of course, what happened on Friday when President Zelensky was at the White House, and most of the Labour government, in fact, the whole of the British government have kind of been unanimous and on the same side. However, of course, yesterday on ABC News, Lord Mandelson, the UK ambassador to the United States, appeared to go against what Labour and Keir Starmer and the government have been sort of peddling, and actually said for them to back Donald Trump and this peace deal. Have a watch of this.
We need a very radical reset, as you say in the caption behind you. And the reset has to consist of the United States and Ukraine getting back on the same page, and President Zelensky giving his unequivocal backing to the initiative that President Trump is taking to end the war and to bring a just and lasting peace to Ukraine. And the Europeans, George, too, they need to back the calls for a ceasefire. And by the way, I think that Ukraine should be the first to commit to a ceasefire and defy the Russians to follow. And then as part of the unfolding plan for this negotiation, the Europeans and perhaps some other countries too have got to consider how they are going to put forces on the ground to play their part in providing enduring security and deterrence for Ukraine. Now, that's the reset that we're looking for. That's what the British Prime Minister is working for in his meeting in London today.
So following this, a Labour spokesman had to come out and say that it wasn't government policy, and actually they had split with Lord Mandelson. Have a watch of this.
I just wanted to read you something that Peter Mandelson said yesterday, your ambassador to the US. Europeans too need to back the calls for a ceasefire. And by the way, I think that Ukraine should be the first to commit to a ceasefire and defy the Russians to follow. That is UK government policy now?
No, it's certainly right that the Ukrainians want peace. I think of all the peoples on our continent that want peace, the Ukrainians want it the most. But we're still in discussions, diplomatic engagement with our European, US and Ukrainian friends as to the shape of that deal. But it's certainly right that the war could stop tomorrow if President Putin stopped his illegal and unprovoked aggression. He could stop this war. So what we need to find is a formula that allows a peace that is lasting and durable to be created and then to be defended, because we need to defend this peace. Just as NATO has defended peace in Europe since the Second World War, we will need to find a way of defending that peace in Ukraine as well. So
Peter Mandelson misspoke yesterday?
That's not government policy, and you wouldn't expect me to commentate on every ups and down in the negotiations, but we are.
So, yeah, it does seem as though they are not on the same page with regard to that at this moment in time, which is a huge sort of confusion with regard to the Labour government and their man out in the US. And essentially the Lib Dem leader, Ed Davey, said, "What is Mandelson up to?" he questioned, saying you cannot square what the Prime Minister said this morning with this. He said, "What is the government's actual position? Our man in DC should be securing US protection for our brave Ukrainian allies, not telling President Zelensky what to do." So, yes, trouble in paradise there, of course, as Mandelson seems to be split from the Labour government, having to sort of clarify and say that's not the part of the government policy. So, definitely got something wrong there, essentially. I don't know what's going on over there with regard to Mandelson and Keir Starmer not singing on the same hymn sheet at this moment in time. Now, of course, I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm probably on the side of Mandelson with regard to it. Actually, I do think, of course, in the bigger picture, we should be looking to try and get a peace deal, and then we do need the Americans in place with regard to it. But then I also do get Ukraine's side. I do get Zelensky's side. I can see why it is splitting opinion amongst the space at this moment in time with regard to it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that split between Mandelson and Keir Starmer down there in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Peace. Peace.